Hello friends, my name is Ashok Sen Gupta from School of Management Sciences, Lucknow. Today's class is a continuous class as per the last lecture. Is a project risk management, the topic is, and here we will discuss about the quantitative risk. In previous class we were discuss about the various type of risk identification, control of the risk and various aspects of the risk, but in today's class we have discussed some tools and techniques which are related to quantitative. We already have understand about the qualitative risk management techniques in previous lecture, like SWOT analysis, bow or tie analysis, shift analysis, Delphi method, etc. And here we will understand the various aspects to identify the risk and how to manage the risk, how to assess the risk with the help of quantitative tools. By contrast, quantitative risk analysis is a statistical analysis of effect of the identified risk on the overall project. This helps project manager and team to make decision with reduced uncertainty and supports the process of risk control. In quantitative analysis, basically we use the statistical tools like mean, median, mode, descriptive analysis. Sometimes we also use the probability and standard deviation and variance. Standard deviation and variances measures the risk. So, we know that the standard deviation is sigma, standard deviation is sigma and variance is sigma square. This is x bar is mean. These are the statistical tools and we can find out the risk or analyze the risk with the help of these tools. Qualitative risk analysis count the possible outcomes of the project and figure out the probability of still meeting project objectives. This helps to decision making, especially when there is uncertainty during the project planning phases. It helps project manager create cost schedule and scope target that are realistic. Outcomes is what come from the project, outcomes is what come from the probability. Events, as we know that in probability, if we toss a coin, there will be one outcome, either head or tail. So, probability of head and probability of tail is same 0.55, either it is head and or it is tail. So, 0.5. When we throw a dice, single dice have 6 faces, but we can see only one face. So, chances of getting one face, like you throw a dice and chances of coming 2 is 1 by 6. So, therefore, this is a probability, and when we apply the theory of the probabilities in risk analysis, then we get the chances of happening of any project outcome. Outcome in the form of if you manufacturing electricity, then the plant capacity is 100 megawatt, 1000 megawatt. It is a paper estimated outcome, but until and unless we start the plant, we cannot find out, we are not able to find out the exact figure of how much the plant is going to manufacture electricity, how to produce electricity 100 megawatt or less than 100 megawatt. So, by creating a project report, the project managers and the team always give the different aspects that at if we have a more optimistic, then we have a chances of 0.9% of 100, 0.9%, or at a time of pessimistic we have a 0.6. So, we have a chances that either we have manufacture maximum 90%, 90% or 60% minimum, or maybe increase from 90% to 100%, but it all are based on the chances and these are the risk. We are taking the risks of establishing a plant which is going to produce electricity. We have, it is a heavy investment in that, capital budgeting investment in that, capital nature investment in that, and in fact these are the investment, but output must be as per our requirement. But here we take the risk analysis as a part, what will be the weather condition, what are the chances of the rain, all these things, 50%, 30%, forecasting of the rain. These kind of statistical tools are used in various projects. Source of risk, risk repository. The risk repository is the history data contain that list of risk identified for the complete project. The risk repository can be used to arrive at a risk of potential risk of the project. This risk repository also be filtered based on the risk source, category and project. We analysis with the historical data. We analyze the risk with the help of historical data. We analyze the risk with our past data, listed down the data, and this repository can use to arrive a list of potential. Checklist analysis. The risk identify checklist is a questionnaire that help identify gap and potential risk. गैप को पता करता है और पोटेंशियल रिस्क को भी पता करता है. It is developed based on experience and project type. It is developed on the basis of experiences and project types. Risk identification, expert judgment. Source is expert judgment. Here the expert judgment identify the risks by brainstorming method, interview the experienced project participation, stakeholders and subject matter experts. As we discussed, expert judgment, interview the experienced people who work in that project, what is their experience, what they have, what they know of the project, what is their opinion about the success of the project and outcome of the project. Project status also meet the reports, progress report, quality reports. These reports provide the current project process, issue phases, threshold variations. These provide initial status of project and phenomena of new risk. With the help of paper data, we have help of paperwork, we have help of different reports, we able to understand the status of the risk, we able to understand the function of the risk, and this function and status of the risk give us the overall view to how we understand about the risk. What is our opinion? These provide insight into the status of the project and potential of near risk. What will be the new risk? What can be happen with it? What is the status of the project? What is the important thing in the projects? So, all these data are very important in the potential risk management. Risk category provides a list of areas that are prone to risk event. The organization recommend high level standard category which have to be extended based on project type. So, sometimes risks are also categorized technical risk, requirement of technology, performance, quality, etc. External risk, risks like a customer, contract, market, supply, organization, project dependencies, logistics, budget and project management, scheduling, planning, scheduling, estimation, control and communication, etc. Therefore, if we categorize the risk technically, then we have to find out the various type of risk in the form of technicalities. We can find out and judge or estimate the future risk interface during the various techniques used by the companies. If we talk about the external risk belongs to customer. May be possible that customer deny your product, customer not accept your product. It is not actually customer dislike it because of its taste and preferences, its size, sometime size of any product which is not as per the customer's need, market, suppliers, etc. As we see, if we talk about the external customer, as we see, nowadays we know that companies are manufacturing the products which are very small in sizes, but give you the equal benefit. Let us take an example of a computer or television. When in India television was started and people going to purchase the television, it was a black and white television. It is very bulky and having the various transistors and vacuums, tubes. We do not have the remote, we have to manually shift the channels. At that time there is no more channel, there is only Doordarshan, but there is a channel we can shift moving by hand, and it is quite bulky. But day by day size of the television changes. Now television size is going to be big, 42 inch, 73 inch, big televisions. So, big screens are there, but they are very light and they are very compact. They are built in such a way that every person use it and can put it on the wall. So, it save the space, because now people are moving to the flat, the residential places are shrinking down. So, project related to designing a new electronic item also an important part, because if you design a electronic or electrical item which is very bulky in size, it is difficult to carry it, because nowadays for the job purpose, for the education purpose, people are customers are moving from one city to one country to another country, one city, and they have to carry all this equipment. If these equipment are bulky, then they fail in the market. So, instruments are quite useful nowadays. They know the circumstances, they build as per the present circumstances, like inverter AC, inverter fridge. These are they are also a part of project, because they save the electricity, they run on the low electricity. So, it's maintain the functioning of that equipment. If you not move according to the need and demand of the customer, then project fail. So, this is also a risk. Organization, logistic, if logistic has failed, then supply of one article to the company or raw material to the company not able to provide them on a proper time. Budgets, fail in the budget, organization failed in the budget, then project have to be stopped. They need to stop their project. Project management, we are studying the project management and planning, estimate, controlling. So, all are the important part, and we have to select these part according to our need and benefits. So, risk analysis involves the examination of how project outcome and objective might change due to the impact of risks. Once risks has identified, they are analyzed and identify qualitative and quantitative impact of the risk on the project, so that appropriate steps have been taken to mitigate them. Third part is probability of risk occurrence. This is a tool, and this is a tool and with the example, but it is not fixed. 80 to 100% high risk, sometime in some cases 70 to 100% also be high. So, high probability, medium probability, low medium probability, low probability. So, these are the various probabilities in the we going to find out, and we put our chances in between them. If our project's risk probability is going to be a 75%, it must be in the part 2, medium high probability. If it is less than 30, then it is a low probability, low probability. So, to design and launch a satellite is highly risky. Probability of failure has to be choose, it is high or medium, it depends on the project manager and the team, a team of expertise who give their views according to their past knowledge, past experiences, in which direction they thinking about, they are too much optimistic or pessimistic in nature towards the launching of the new satellite. So, what is the probability of failure? If it is 100%, we have to think about that. Launching a new mobile phone having different probability. Launching a generic medicine, it has a different probability. Selling of a medicine, nowadays it is a very low probability to getting a loss, it will sell, because nowadays during the pandemic, medicines and the pharma companies are growing, and they are working on the different type of medicines. They are launching medicines, and most of the medicines are in the market and people purchasing them. So, probability is high or low is depend on the characteristics of the particular product or service or project. we rank the impact of the to A, B and C according to the objective, cost, schedule, scope and quality. Cost increases, rank 3. Low margin cost. Okay. So, there are 3 type of high, medium and low. High rating is 100, critical rating is 50 and margin rating is C. So, in the case of cost, if it increases by 0.00% and I borrow this from the this chart from a website. So, it is in different maybe rupees, you can change it in rupees. Okay. So, cost has changed and we can put 5 to 10% or greater than 50,000 is rating by B and cost increase by 10% or 1 lakh is rating by A. If your cost increase, so what will you rank, what is your rank? आप रैंकिंग करते हैं यहाँ पर प्रोजेक्ट्स में कि आपकी अगर कॉस्ट बढ़ रही है, क्यों बढ़ रही है और उसको किस कैटेगरी में डालें, क्यों बढ़, फिर आप उस पर एनालिसिस करते हैं. शेड्यूल टाइम पे ख़त्म हो रहा है या नहीं हो रहा है, इट्स एंडेड इन टाइम और नॉट. तो इसमें भी हम ये देखते हैं 2 वीक से ज़्यादा टाइम ले लिया तो ए में आ गया, 1 वीक से ज़्यादा टाइम लिया तो बी में आया और टाइम पे ख़त्म हुआ तो सी कैटेगरी में आया. तो ये भी इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट, इट इज़ ऑल्सो इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट कि ऑन वेस्ट व्हाट इज़ द टाइम ऑफ and what is the schedule time of end of the project. Scope, what is the scope of the project? Major areas scope are affected, scope reduced, scope कम हो गया उसका तो A. माने एरिया स्कोप थोड़ा बहुत है B. क्वालिटी, then we move in the quality. क्वालिटी को भी हम A, B और C रैंक में ट्रांसफ़र करते हैं. The score represent the bottom threshold for the classified risks, assume normal conditions and upgrade the scores to the next or next n+1 year level in the necessary if risk is impacted by critical factors such as how important a specific customer is, whether the project is critical or the further development of the relationship with the customer, the risk is already in the focus of customer and the specific penalties are for deviation for project target are agreed. These are the questions we need to be understand in this quantitative techniques. Risk exposure, we highlight the exposures, high risk red, medium यहाँ red, फिर orange, फिर green. तो जो green area है, the area which is represented by green having the low risk exposure, these are the low risk exposure score. So, we can, this is also a probability and here the probability and the impact, the relationship of probability and the impact. So, probability is equals to 1 and impact is 100, then where it is very exposed, very high, it is also very high, it is medium and is low. In this case it is all are low because probability, even though probability is high, but they having impact is very low. So, it all are in green. So, this is a matrix, this matrix is based on the exposure where probability and impact are looking and we analysis on the basis of the colors of the impact of the risk. Last is occurrence time framework. कितने दिनों में रिस्क हो सकता है, नाउ, मिडिल यानी 2 से 6 महीने में या फिर 6 से ज़्यादा महीने में। तो हम यहाँ पे टाइम फ्रेमवर्क से भी अपने रिस्क को ऐड कर देखते हैं, अपने रिस्क अकरेंस को देखते हैं और उस पर वर्क करते हैं। ज़्यादा टाइम है, कम टाइम है, अभी रिस्क होने वाला है, हाउ टू मेजर द रिस्क, व्हाट आर द क्राइटेरिया वी हैव टू टेक द रिस्क बेनिफिट्स, हाउ आर द क्राइटेरिया व्हाट वी अंडरस्टैंड टू मेंटेन द रिस्क एंड असेस द रिस्क. So this is are the some tools which are used for the quantitative risk analysis, and this is small recap. Here we understand that various type of risk exposures, how can expose the risk, how we occur the time framework, and we also see that the risk impact matrix also, probability occurrence also. An important part is exposure of the risk also. So these are the same tools which are using in the risk management, and I hope you understand that video, and thank you for watching this video. Thank you.